Ding, 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 ding. What the hell is going on with the new and used car market? It's looking a hell of a lot like a reset to me.
2021 to 2023, new and used car prices went sky high. There was a chip shortage, a semiconductor shortage during the pandemic, which led to about 15 million vehicles not being produced globally. As a result of that, Dad, we saw new car prices go sky high. The average transaction price for a new car almost hit $50,000 during that period of time. And used car prices at the wholesale auctions went up 66% in about 24 months from the beginning of 2020 to the end of 2021. Used and new car prices went crazy during that chip shortage. That's kind of the land that we'd been living in. 2024 is a little bit different. Am I capturing what happened in the past accurately?
I think your memory is spot on, and I think the reset has just begun. You take a look at new car inventories right now, and they are dramatically up compared to where they had been during those supply chain issues. We are up to 2.9 million new vehicles available, either in inventory or in transit in this month for new car franchises out there. During the height of the supply chain issues, new car inventory hovered around 900,000 vehicles a month. We are 2 million vehicles more than that now. Okay. And the percent of people shopping for vehicles has gone down in the sense that only 17% of the public out there thinks they can actually afford to buy a new car. So you've got to figure out how to sell 2.9 million vehicles every month to 17% of the population. I only know one way to do that.
You got to lower prices. Now, we've seen car prices, new car prices. We're going to talk about the used car market in just a minute. P.S. It is also resetting. Dad, we've seen new car prices come down a little bit. That average transaction price is not $50,000 like it almost got to during the pandemic. It's around $47,000, $48,000. The issue that we're running into is during the chip shortage, during that supply shortage, automakers intentionally decided to produce higher MSRP vehicles, and we're continuing to see that in today's market. There are fewer and fewer sub $20,000, $25,000, or even $30,000 models out there on the market. Automakers, for example, like Ford, decided that the average transaction price for their F-Series pickup trucks should be north of $68,000. 4 of your top 10 best-selling vehicles in the United States are full-size pickup trucks that have higher than $60,000 average transaction prices. That's because MSRPs went through the roof. So we've seen prices come down a little bit as inventory has almost tripled, right? From 1 million to 3 million. But in that same period of time, MSRPs for some brands went up by more than 50%. So customers who are going out there looking for new cars might still be a little bit sticker shocked when they see what that monthly payment comes out to.
It was, average transaction prices were one thing when there was only 900,000 new vehicles available in a given month. And even if there was 20% of the population that felt they could afford things at that time, there were so few vehicles in comparison to the number of shoppers that dealers were able to sell those vehicles, those higher priced vehicles. The tables have turned, okay? 900,000 vehicles to 2.9 million. That's over 3 times, because 3 times 9, last time I checked, was 27. So that would be 2.7 million. So it's more than 3 times greater. The problem is that the number of people in the market did not go up exponentially with the 3 times greater inventory. That the number of shoppers has stayed about the same, 17% of the population. There's only so many $68,000 pickup trucks you can sell. If you want to figure out how to get rid of that growing inventory, you have to either offer less expensive vehicles or you have to offer larger incentives on your more expensive vehicles. And we have seen many manufacturers say they're going to do both.
100%. Let's talk about used cars for a minute here, Dad. During the pandemic, pre-pandemic, you would anticipate 2.6 to 2.65 million used cars for sale nationwide. The latest data we have in 2024, 2.26 million used cars for sale. So you have a slight decline in used vehicle inventory.
Yes.
Less inventory, lower supply means, especially if there's demand, higher prices. We saw used car prices, like I said at the outset, during a 2-year period at the wholesale dealer auctions go up 66%. For example, your trade-in values, hopefully you put in your trade-in value back on caredge.com/sell or what's my car worth during that period of time, you would have been shocked at what your vehicle was worth. We have seen used car prices come down significantly because although we anticipate for a decade coming, we're going to have a shortage of used vehicles. Again, 15 million vehicles weren't produced. That's going to have a ripple effect for a long time. Used car prices are normalizing, Dad. We are seeing normal seasonal depreciation in
Yes.
used cars, and especially in electric vehicles, which are plummeting. Those things are like boat anchors. We've seen electric vehicle average transaction prices for used EVs go from over $60,000 to almost $30,000 in just a couple years. So the used car market is in a lot of ways resetting and healing too. And the inventory shortage isn't that bad. It's not good. Like the quality of used cars we know is not as great, but it's not that bad.
At the moment, it's not that bad, but it's about to change again. And the reason it's about to change is a big portion of most manufacturers' sales portfolio were actually leases. And leases dropped dramatically. The percent of people leasing dropped dramatically during the supply chain issues. And through the first half of this year, there's a normal, what would have been considered a normal number of lease returns coming back in. Now, heading into the second half of this year and through all of 2025, there is going to be a severe shortage of lease returns coming back because leasing dropped to next to nothing for many of the manufacturers. So we will still see some type of constraint on higher quality used vehicles moving forward. So the 1, 2, 3-year-old used cars with relatively low miles, they still will probably remain much higher in price retail wise than what you normally would have expected.
Definitely. And to quantify that, back in 2021, the average transaction price for a used car was around $21,000, $22,000. The average transaction price for that used car today, $25,670, down from where it was back in 2022 when it was over $28,000, but still significantly higher than where it was pre-pandemic. Let's parlay this into our new versus used. If you're in the car market in 2024, new versus used, which represents a better value? Our bet here at CarEdge is that you can find a better value on a new vehicle than a used vehicle right now. Even though used vehicle prices have come down a little bit, they're still elevated from where they were pre-pandemic. There is still a shortage of supply, especially relative to new cars, where there's now this significant surplus of supply. And new cars, Dad, you mentioned the big I word earlier, incentives. We are seeing really big incentives on some vehicles that are slow selling. You can get market days supply and sales data back on caredge.com on our car search, and you can quickly identify which vehicles are selling and aren't selling. Those that aren't have really big incentives, like 0% or 0.9% financing. That could be thousands of dollars over the lifetime of a loan. You're not going to find those incentives on used cars. So really, our bet here at CarEdge is do your homework on new cars, representing a better value in today's market.
Yes, if you're typically in the market for a 1, 2, or 3-year-old newer used car with relatively low miles, you are going to be much better off buying that new car. Better interest rates, better incentives, the spread between what they want for that used one and what they want for the new one will be limited. So you really would be better off considering the new, complete warranty, better interest rates on loans. That's my guess moving forward.
If we can help you with anything, please subscribe to the channel here on the CarEdge channel, or go check out our website, caredge.com. Myriad free resources there to help you get a great deal when you do buy a vehicle. Pops, thank you for your time as always. I love you.
I love you as well. Thank you.